Hello everybody. Once again, I welcome you all to the next video in the presentation on basics of R programming. In this video, we are going to study creating vectors, R object classes, data structures in R, matrices and arrays, and data frames. Now first understand how to create vectors. In R, everything is represented as a vector. Vectors are nothing but one-dimensional arrays that can hold character data, numeric data, or logical data. To create a vector, we use the function called C. Here are few examples of how do we create the vectors. Let's say there is a vector called A which holds all numeric data. There is a vector called B which holds logical data. So logical data is always in the form of true or false. Then there is a vector called C which holds all the character data, like here you can see 1, 2, 3. Now what are the features of vectors? R provides many functions to examine the features of vectors. Say for example, class is an important feature of a vector which shows what kind of object is it. Then type of is another feature which tells us the object's data type. Then length will tell us how long is the vector. And last, attributes which holds all the metadata of vector. Now let's study how to create vector. In earlier videos we have already studied how to create vector, but once again we will revise here. To create a vector in R, you use C function. Alternatively, you can also use vector function as well. Let's see how to create a vector. So here a vector is created called as y, which is a numeric vector with length 1. So if you want to print the output of this vector, simply type y and press enter. By default it will show the value of a vector as 0. If you want to know the class of the vector, simply type class and in the bracket the name of the vector, that is in this case y. So the output will be numeric. In this manner, the character objects are also used in the same way as a numeric vectors. Let's say I have created a vector called A which holds a character data 1, 2, 3. To see the output, simply type A and it will show the output as 1, 2, 3. To know the class, again type class and name of the vector, that is A in this case, and it will show the class of the vector as a character. So these are very simple functions which we can use for creation of a vector and to see the output. Now let's see what are different object classes. Now R has 5 basic classes of objects, that is numeric, integer, complex, logical and character. Now in case of numeric class of an object, it is also called as double. By default type when dealing with the numbers, say for example, in a numeric class of an object, it can hold a value like 1, 1.0, 42.5 and so on. Second, integer. Integer, here you can see the example 1L, 2L, 42L, where L tells R to solve this as an integer or to store this value as an integer. The next class of an object is complex. So complex, for example, 4 plus 2i. So 4 plus 2i, which means complex number with real and imaginary part. The next is logical class of an object. So in case of logical class of an object, two possible values are there, true and false. And then last, the character class of an object. So for example, A statistics 1 plus 2 and so on. So the class command gives you the information about the class of an object. So here let's see, there is a numeric vector called as x which holds the numeric data 1 and 2. To see the output, simply type x again and see the output, it will show as 1 and 2. To know the class again, simply type the function class and name of the vector, that is x, and it will show the type of the vector, that is numeric. So these are nothing but the classes of an object in R. The next is data structures in R. Now data structures in R are also known as objects. Data structures in R programming are tools for holding multiple data values. So multiple data values means logical, character or numeric data values. The basic data structures in R include vectors, matrices, data frames and lists. The data structures can be organized according to their dimensionality. Say for example, one-dimensional, two-dimensional, three-dimensional or multi-dimensional, and whether they are homogeneous or heterogeneous. Now let us study in detail what do you mean by homogeneous and heterogeneous data structures. Homogeneous data structure, which means that it holds the same data type, the values of same data type, like all values can be either numeric or it could be character or it could be logical. In case of heterogeneous data structure, it is mixture of data types, that is numeric or logical or character data type. All elements of an atomic vector must be of a same size, same type, whereas the elements of an list can have the different types. So under homogeneous category, we have three data structures, that is atomic vector, matrix and arrays. Whereas in case of heterogeneous data structures, we have lists and data frames which hold heterogeneous data. The list is a special type of object that can hold any or all object types. Say for example, here is the example. Create a list called X, and this is the syntax of X. This is the syntax where the list, it includes multiple data types like 1:3 A, then logical data type, that is true, false, true. So this is a logical data type, and the vector 2.3, 5.9, it shows integer data type. So a list can hold a multiple data type. Then arrays. When we add dim attribute to atomic vector, then it behaves like a multidimensional array. A special case of array is the matrix, which has two dimensions. Matrices and arrays are created with matrix and array, or by using the assignment form of dim. Now let's study what are matrices in R. R uses two terms to refer to two-dimensional data sets, matrix and array. Software engineers who are working with a software development, they call two-dimensional data set as an array, whereas the mathematicians or statisticians refer the same two-dimensional data set as a metric. So the terms matrix and array basically are used interchangeably. In R, matrix are created using a function called as matrix, and this is the syntax of matrix. How do we create the matrix? So let us study this syntax. So here I have created a matrix called as my matrix, and this is the syntax. Matrix in bracket vector n rows that shows number of rows, n columns that shows number of columns, by rows that shows logical value, dim names list character vector row names, comma character vector column names. So let us study what is the meaning of this. So vector contains a data for array. So here the keyword vector is there, which actually contain the data elements of an array. N rows stand for number of rows, n col stand for number of columns, and dimension names is there. So dimensions is a numeric vector giving the maximal index for each dimension. So what is the dimension of an array? Whether it is 2 by 3, 3 by 2, 2 by 3 by 2 and so on. So the dimensions we have to list here, and the name of the dimension. So x, y, z, p, q, r. So whatever the label that we give to the dimension, that is denoted by the keyword dim names. So this is how is the syntax for matrix, creation of a matrix. So let's see one example. Here I have created a matrix called as X, which holds a vector data that is 1:9, that is total 9 values are there. N rows is equal to 3 and n col is equal to 3. So the matrix size is 3 by 3 matrix. So if we print the output, you simply type X and press enter. It will show you the matrix of size 3 by 3. Now if one wants to specifically see the data element of nth row and nth column, then it can be simply checked using giving the coordinate of the matrix. Say for example, if you want to study what is the data element in first row and first column, so you have to simply write x1 comma 1. So first row and first column. So the data here is 1. So it will show the output as 1. Then let's say another example, x 3 by 3. So x 3 by 3, which denotes third row and third column. So third row and third column, here the data is 9. So it will show you the answer as 9. So this is how the matrices are created. Now coming to the arrays. Now arrays can have more than 2 dimensions. In R they are created by using the function called as array. My array, that is the array that I have created, and this is the syntax that is used to create an array. So my array with a vector, dimensions and dim names. Now we have already studied what is the meaning of these terms. The following example shows how to create 3-dimensional array, that is 2 by 3 by 2 size. So here I have created a array called as Z, which holds 12 values, 12 data elements, and the size of the array is 2 by 3 by 2. So as shown in this diagram, you can see this is a 1-dimensional array which has only a single row. Then 2-dimensional array. So 2-dimensional array can be of 2 by 2, 2 by 3, 3 by 2 or so on. So here it is of a 2 by 3 size, that means 2 rows and 3 columns, 1, 2 and 3. Then it can be 3-dimensional array which has 3 axes. So I, j and k, or axis 0, axis 1 or axis 2. Now in this case the 3-dimensional array size is 4 by 3 by 2. That means 4 rows So this is first row, second row, third row and fourth row. So this is axis 0, then axis 1 is of a size 3. So this is first, this is second and this is third column. And then finally axis 2, that is of a size 2. So again this is one column and this is another column. So in this manner the arrays are created in R. Now let us see the example. Here I have created an array called as Z, which is of a vector 1:12. The size of the array is 2 by 3 by 2, and then the dimension names, that is dim names. So I have created dim1, dim2 and dim3. These are the three labels that are given to the dimensions. And what is dim1, dim2 and dim3? That is also specified here. dim1 is nothing but a vector which holds a1 and a2 character vector. dim2, it is nothing but b1, b2 and b3, and dim3 is c1 and c2. So if you simply type Z, it will display the array of a size 2 by 3 by 2. So dimension c1 and dimension c2, it will display the array. So this is, in this manner the arrays are created in R. Now next is data frames. Data frames are important object types and the most common data structure you will use in R. They are very similar to data storage in Microsoft Excel, Stata, SAS and SPSS. You can have multiple columns of different types. Columns can be either integer or character or logical types. Though the data frame is similar to matrix or an array, unlike a matrix or an array, you can store multiple data types in data frames. So data frames are nothing but a special type of list, and every element of the list has to have the same length. Each column can be named indicating the name of the variable or predictors. The data frames also have an attribute named row.names, which indicates the information in each row, and in the same manner COL, that is call.names, which indicates the information in each column. So when you read files by using read.csv, the data frames are automatically created. Let us see the example. Here data frames can be created explicitly with the function called as data frame, data.frame. So here I have created a data frame called as employee underscore data. So this is the name that is given to data frame, employee underscore data, and this is the syntax. Okay, so data dot frame in bracket employee, salary and start date. Now employee, salary and start date, these are nothing but three different vectors. Employee is the vector which is nothing but a character vector which holds the character data, that is Ram, Sham and Jadu. Salary is the numeric vector which holds the numeric data, as you can see here, and start date is nothing but the data type with date, as dot date, which shows the date of joining of a particular employee. So this is how the data frame is created, and if you want to see the data in this data frame, simply type the name of the data frame, that is employee underscore data. Press enter, view, or you can simply write view employee underscore data. So the moment you type this instruction, you can see the output like this. So it will show you the employee underscore data, and it will display the details of employee, salary and start date in the sequence. So that's it for today. Thank you.